city government, the 300,000 people who live in this community. But I'm not really here because I'm the mayor of St. Paul and Tou Ger was such an incredible leader for so many members of our community. I'm here because every time Tou Ger and I saw each other, we used the word brother to describe one another. I'm here because Tou Ger has been a good friend of mine for over 20 years. And so in addition to representing the city of St. Paul, I also stand here as a representative of the entire Carter family, who feel a collective loss, who feel a collective hole in our heart at the loss of our brother, Tou Ger. I'm here representing my parents, who I know are here, Melvin Carter Jr. and Walitha Tony Carter, who are here sitting with us. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for being here as well. I've learned a lot through Tou Ger about many of the similarities our Hmong community and our African American community face. And one of them is we rock with family. And so I appreciate you, Mom and Dad, being here. The Attorney General reminded us that there's much cause to celebrate. And that's true, because Tou Ger was a leader, an activist, a teacher, an advocate, a mentor, a big brother, a little brother, a son, a cousin, so many things to so many people. And I won't repeat the words that other folks have said, but there's one aspect of his life that I think may go unmentioned today. And I just want you to know that my good friend Tou Ger Xiong was an absolute, unrivaled genius at karaoke. I was gonna say that he was somebody who could have a ball, could have a one-man party, no matter what everyone else in the room was doing. But that's not exactly true, because his idea of a party was making sure you had fun too. His sort of globalism and value for every other person was demonstrated by the fact that when the karaoke DJ, well, I'll say if the karaoke DJ wasn't him, and if he hadn't taken over the microphone from the karaoke DJ, that when the karaoke DJ said, coming up to the stage next, Tou Ger, you didn't know what kind of song he was gonna sing. I knew him as the first Hmong rapper, so he might get up and sing some rap song. You see him in his cowboy hat, so he might get up and sing some country western song. And you know, they say music is an international, global language. And he knew a lot of languages. He would put your name in. So that karaoke DJ might say, coming up next to the stage, Melvin. And you wouldn't know what song he put in for you either. Or he'd be singing and he'd come and just grab your hand, and next thing you know, you guys know me, I'm a very serious person. And somehow I'd find myself up on stage. Someone told me that there's some pictures of he and I in the slideshow, and I'm very worried. So pay no mind to whatever pictures they show, because we were good at having a good, but here's the thing. All I'm saying is, in those moments, he was somebody who showed that he could walk in any and every community. In those moments, he was showing, by example, his ability to make everyone else feel comfortable. In those moments,
He was there's a lot of reasons not to follow that voice inside. There's a lot of reasons not to do what your heart is telling you to do. There's a lot of reasons not to just be silly and have fun. There's a lot of reasons not to show up at a serious event in an Elvis Presley costume, or a Paul Revere costume, or a James Brown costume, or any costume whatsoever. There's a lot of reasons when you see injustice that isn't personally targeted against you in the moment, not to speak up and not to recognize that all injustice is personally targeted against you. There's a lot of reasons not to make sure somebody else feels comfortable in a difficult situation. But in following his heart, somebody said Tou Ger made them a more mature person, and I sort of laughed because I often feel like Tou Ger made me a less mature person. But he gave us license to do what our heart was telling us to do. Sometimes that just meant sing and dance and laugh and be silly. Sometimes that meant be very, very serious in our fight for human rights and equal justice. And there's a quote that says, when we follow our hearts, when we let our own light shine bright, that we also give others license to do the same. And every single moment that I've ever spent with Tou Ger, he has given me license by virtue of just the free life that he lived. So, Mr. Attorney General, I appreciate your timely reminder that there's a lot to celebrate. Because I have to confess, it's hard for me to push through the mountain of anger that I hold. It's hard for me to push through this intense feeling that my friend Tou Ger gave so much more to the world than in the end he ended up getting from us. And if the story stops there, then it's one of the most horrific injustices I've ever heard of. But the blessing for me and the blessing for you is that we still have those lessons. We still have the ability to put on a costume. We still have the ability to care for one another. We still have the ability to make each other laugh in an uncomfortable and painful situation to just make it a little bit easier. We still have the ability to speak up whenever we see injustice anywhere, whether it's in St. Paul or Minneapolis or hear it on the radio or in Wisconsin or California or anywhere in the globe. So my friend, Tou Ger, who taught me that rice could be eaten for any meal, who challenged me to think about what it must be like to just learn that you can use a toilet indoors for the first time, who gave us lots of laughs and lots of joy. As you embark on this journey, I say to you the words that I've heard you say so many times. Go, Hmong boy, go, Hmong boy, go. And I just plead for all of you, with all of you, to do me the service, to do yourself the service, to do Tou Ger the service of not letting the story of all that he's given us stop in this moment, but just to continue to follow his example. And in that sense, we'll say farewell to his physical presence today, but we'll know that his spiritual presence in our community will live on forever. Amen. Thank you. What's in the